girlies, who is in the house today? Come on in. I see you, Martha. And there's Kathy too. Nice to see you. Facebook tells me things. Come on down. Come on in. Hello, Amber. Good to see you. And here they come. Kathy, yes, you are here. I see you. Good to see you. Thanks so much for showing up. Catherine's here. Hello, Catherine. Hi, Doris. Good to see you. Who else is here? Martha. Lovely to see you, Martha. There's my girl, Joanne. Hello, hello. I see Lizzie. Yay. And there's Lydia. Hello, Lydia. I just wrote you a note, I believe, in our Facebook group. Hello, Helen. Good to see you. Who else is here? There's my girl, Beverly. Yay. There's Lucy and Jackie. Hello, hello. There's my girl, Autumn. Paula's in the house too. Yay. Hi, Jan. Corky. There she is. Who else is here? Julie's in the house. There's my girl. There's her pinkies. Good to see you. Hi, Beth. Good to see everyone. I love it when y'all come stomping through the gates. Hi, Jennifer. And you know, I don't have an opportunity to sit here and to say hello, hello to all of you. Tammy wants some inspiration. You got it, Tammy. We're going to do that. Hello, Sarah. Hello, Lynn. Hello, Rhonda. Hello. Goodness gracious, so good to see you. We have got so many things coming up. Yes, it is hot melt mix time, and guess what? I didn't mix it. I mixed it up and I left it downstairs. So I'll finish my little coffee. You know, all I can tell you right now. Oh, listen to you, Corky. She said, I hope yours is happy. Saturday's conference changed my life. Oh, do you know how sweet that is, Corky? Do you know how that just made my day? It really did. Well, we're going to talk a little bit about it just because it was a needle mover, wasn't it? That's the whole point of everything. That's why we get on here every single day, because I want you to have moments in your life where little things just add up and help you out. I don't know about you. I need that. I need daily motivation. I need daily inspiration. I need daily to move things along. That's why my morning routine, my morning ritual is so important, and same with the evening one, but the morning one especially. And today I'm a little behind the 8 ball. I mean, as you can see, I didn't even get my hot melt mix done. But you know what I did? I said, so what? Am I going to beat myself up? Absolutely not. You know what it just means? I'm going to start a little bit late on everything, and it means my day's going to go a little bit longer. Oh well. Oh well. The fact that you're here and that you show up, you make my day. And I appreciate you so much. Last night we had quite a showtime, didn't we? We talked about how to really crush the hot melt sprint, and we had so many people there. It was fantastic. And I'm going to tell you right now, you can still get the webinar, and you can still get the special that we offered up until Thursday, and you can still get on top of this, because next week we sprint. And I also threw down the gauntlet for everybody who was there. Every single person who was there. I said, are you going to show up? Are you going to show up? Are you going to write something in our Facebook group? Are you going to be present? There's Joanne, Patsy, I see you. I see a whole bunch of people who showed up last night. And you know what I say? I say when you show up and when you express something, you're making your line in the sand, just like I make mine every single day. You're making a line in the sand and you're saying, I am here. I am here. I'm crossing over. I'm becoming all that I want to be. All. I'm making a determination. I'm making a decision for myself to have the kind of life that I want. Because this is how we do it. We create it. And today we're going to talk about how resentment can hold that back, because resentment's just evil. Resentment is evil, evil stuff. And if you don't think you have resentment, think again, because I think we all have a little something buried because of somebody doing something from way back when. You know, we all have something. I was thinking about this. I was thinking, am I clear of that? Am I? I don't know. I found a couple of little things that just made me go boing. I thought of them. If you can think of them, they still need to go through the process of being dealt with, don't they? We're going to talk about that. Because when things hold us back, when we have when our energy is diverted, you know, have you ever been on a plane and been diverted from where you're supposed to land? You know what a pain that is. Or you're circling around and around. That's what it is. That's what resentment does for us. It makes it so that we can't land the plane. And I don't want that for you. And that's why we're going to talk about it today. You know, we're not going to pretend it doesn't exist because it does. So listen, let's talk first. First things first, okay? First things first. I want you to go to savemydinner.com/burn. Just put it in another tab on your, you know, if you're on your laptop or whatever, just put it on another tab right now. I want you to watch that webinar because next week, I'm going to ask you to play full out. I'm going to ask you to step into 7 days of life-changing, affirming way of life, getting rid of the inflammatory stuff and stepping into your power. Because, you know, it's interesting what happens when we make decisions about our food that are going to strengthen and empower us as our bodies. It does a little number on our heads as well. This is where things happen. This is where the transformation is, and it comes and sneaks up behind us, doesn't it? Doesn't it say, "Surprise, here I am"? I love it. Joanne she's my poster child for the Hot Melt Sprint. She's just done so amazing, and it has completely changed her whole life. I can say that about Norma. I can see little things happening in everybody's lives, and I can see the cumulative effect of what's happening in people's lives. Emily, if you're having reception problems, go out and come back on in. And it could be me. We're socked in here with really bad rain and what have you. And you know, we get our signal from a cell tower. We're doing the best that we can with what we've got. Sorry. Anyway, last night was a commitment. Last night was a commitment. I asked people for a commitment, pinkies up kind of a commitment, to show up next week, to show up and be all that you can be, and to take this whole 7-day challenge completely seriously. That's what I asked for. And I got a lot of pinkies up, and I cannot wait to see everyone do their thing. It's going to be amazing. You know, Sarah Preston too. You can see Sarah right here in the comments. Sarah showed up, and she showed up, and she just did the collagen sprint the collagen challenge last week, and just crushed it. And now she's getting ready to do the sprint, and I can't wait to see what she's got planned, because she does pictures, she talks about what she's doing, and she gets results. Surprise! How funny is that? That's what I want for all of you. I want every single person to get results. I want you to have results. Not just, yeah, I showed up, I did it, sort of, here we go, and got a little this, got a little that. But no, I want you to just drop it all and just say, wow, my head's just exploding with what happened. Because I'm telling you, that's what 7 days can do. 7 days can completely change your mind. Look at that. 6.2 for the A1C for Lucy. So excited. Marlena, I'm excited too. I'm looking forward to next week too. And as a matter of fact, here we go. Here is our quote of the week, and it is so exciting. You don't get to complain about your situation if you're not doing anything about it. Wow. You know, complaining just erodes our soul, doesn't it? It also shrinks our hippocampus. It makes us so, it just wrecks everything. It's like a party pooper. Complaining is the party pooper, and nobody wants a party pooper. Get rid of the complaining, my gosh. It's also shrinking your brain. You've heard me say that before. And I'm not making this stuff up. You can look it up. It shrinks your brain, and it ruins your life, and it makes it so like, oh, here she comes. I don't want to see her again. Sure, complaining, whiners, ugh. No. How about that? So we also have things coming up, guys. We have things coming up, and I want you to show up to, because they're incredible. And again, our holiday cruise thing coming up with Marla, I'm telling you, that is going to be fire. That is going to be fire. You're going to want to be there for it. It has everything that you want, especially if you've ever had a meltdown because of the holidays. I don't want that for you. You know, our lives can be a beautiful experience. They don't have to be all about a test, you know? They don't. It's not all about a test to see how far can I push you, how hard does it have to be. It doesn't have to be. There are ways around that. And this is something that I want to give you. This is something that I want you to step into. And I'm telling you, it's $47 for an entire day of a virtual conference with Marla and I. And we're on fire. If you've seen us together, you know. This is happening on Saturday, October 10th. Mark your calendars. And even if you can't come on that day, you can get the recording. You can get the recording. So it's savingdinner.com/cruise for all the details. You don't want to miss out. It's going to be that epic. And I'm telling you, if you decide I don't even want to go there, you will sign up for the swag bag. The swag bag is ridiculous, and it has everything you need to make the holidays successful. Go look. You'll see it. Q&A is on Friday. Don't forget. Just send in your questions to support@savingdinner.com. Question for Leanne on Friday. Nutrition, cooking, whatever. Somebody actually asked how I did my hair, and I did a hair demo the other Friday. So, you know, if you're there, if that's really what you want, I'll give it to you. I'll give you what you want as best I can. And let's not forget, ladies, this is already flying out the door. Our supplement of the week is early. Early, early, early. And it's Just Juice Veggies. Listen, if vegetables are a 4-letter word in your family, or if vegetables are a hard thing for you to get into your kids, this is insurance, because 1 scoop of this stuff, 1 scoop, equals 7 to 9 servings of fruit and vegetables. And listen, we don't have the luxury of saying, well, maybe next week, maybe whatever. Come on. You gotta get on top of this. Your kids need it, you need it, we need health. Buy 3, the 4th one is free. The 4th one will be free. And by the way, you guys, after this special is over, Just Juice Veggies is getting a price hike. I just got a notice from our manufacturer. Price is going up on this stuff. That's just raw materials right there. So just be aware, it's going up. It's going up about $4 a container. So get it now. Put 3 in your cart. We'll put the 4th one free in there for you free. So you'll get 4 for the price of 3. And if you put ships free in the promo window, we'll ship it to you free, because that's how we roll, my friends. So today our tip is like talking about what resentment is, because resentment is the world's worst thing. Resentment is going to take your life hostage. And what is resentment? It is the bitter indignation of having been treated unfairly. We become bitter when things are unfair. We become bitter when somebody does something to us, or somebody does something to one of our children, or says something, or what have you. And that bitterness turns into resentment, and that resentment takes and requires a lot of energy to keep constructed. Have you noticed that? You got to keep it alive. You got to think about it often. You got to kind of play it around in your head and run that whole scenario through a few times. I found myself with something that a woman did that, you know, was a really good friend of mine, but what she did to my son and how she made him feel as a little boy. And I thought about that, and I thought about confronting her all these years later, and I thought about what it was that I had in my heart. And I asked my son even, do you remember this situation and this incident? And he didn't. But you know what? I'm sure it's had an impact on him. And so you know what I have done instead of confronting this woman about this, you know, whole resentment thing that I've had, and a couple of other things. You know what I have done instead? I've left it alone, and I've given it to God, and I have given it up the idea of going into the resentment zone, because the resentment zone tears me apart. The resentment zone takes away my power and it gives it and puts all my energy on something that I don't want in my life. All I can do is pray and let go. That's it. There are no other things. And when we live in this place of resentment, if we live in this place of resentment, you know what happens? We find ourselves in the place of harming ourselves. We find ourselves in the place of grinding an axe that's not ours to grind. Resentment is never valid. I want you to write that down. If you're a writer-downer of things, this is something to write down. Resentment is never valid because resentment is holding you hostage, no one else. Resentment is never justified. Now, I will say that resentment has its roots in whatever happened, sure. Resentment has its roots, and it's that persistent feeling that we have, right? Of being wronged, of being horribly wronged. But resentment will take all of its demons, if you will, with it and launch them on you. Because the person that you have the resentment with, or the situation or whatever, they are completely blissfully unaware. Or even if you have said something to them, they don't have the same energy level toward that resentment that you do. Because they're not resentful. They're not resentful. Resentment holds you hostage. They're just saying, oh, she's just mad at me. She's just angry. Oh, I get it, sort of, but, you know, I asked for forgiveness, so it's all gone. They've moved on. Have you noticed that? They've moved on. But when you stay in the place of resentment, you're the one that's walking into the jail cell without voluntarily locking it up and making a decision that you're the one who's going to go behind the bars. It doesn't work. Resentment is the road to a lot more anger too. It's a tripwire. It's a tripwire, and it launches a whole minefield. You start to have blame, this resentment, and what this wrong was done. Well, you know, you get obsessed with it. And then that leads to maybe you're not working like you should be. You're not getting things done like you should be. You're kind of obsessed with it. You're maybe a little aggressive with it, or you're snapping heads off because of this resentment. What we know is that sometimes resentment can be caught from someone else. And you're saying, yeah, justifiably. Nancy, it is hard when it's family. But guess what? You have an opportunity at any time to give it up. Because it's your life that's at stake, not this family's life. We have an opportunity to always decide what it is that we are going to focus on. Because what we focus on will expand to fill the space. Have you noticed that? I don't know about you, but I don't want my life's breath and the quality of my life taken away because resentment has moved in. And that's not hard. That's a choice. The choices that I'm making right now are for the beauty of my own life, for the vibrancy of my own life. And what I can see, there is no vibrancy in resentment. Resentment is the jailer. Resentment is the energy sucker awayer. That's what it is. And when there are people in your life that do, spur on the resentment, who've treated you unfairly, that have done all these things, we have at any point with our children, with our spouses, to give it up and just say, you know what, this is my focus. This is what I want from my life. This is what I want to have, not this. Because we can choose at any point what it is that we want. It's like walking into, a restaurant and a buffet table. You choose, you pick and choose what it is that you want. And if you don't like liver, don't put it on your plate. Don't. Say no. There are things that we have resentment for that are even, that are less, that are smaller. Maybe somebody at work stole your idea. Maybe somebody did something and took credit for something that you did. Maybe you have resentment because somebody, you've unrighteous, you've ended up with some kind of a, you know, a bad knee, or you need to get a knee replacement, and this person over here who's not taking care of themselves, and you're the one who's got the health issue, you're resentful because that person over there, well, look at them. They never even took care of their lives, and I've done all these things, and I'm the one who has to have the knee replacement, or whatever it is. You know, we can build a case. Have you noticed that? Gosh, we are like lawyers. We're like really slick on this stuff. We can build a case for what it is that we want to say. See, let's compare. And what do we know about comparison? It's a thief of joy. Is it a thief of joy too when we're comparing why we should be resentful and why we shouldn't be? And what I see is that resentment leads to, and the studies show, heart disease. And guess what the #1 disease for women is? Heart disease. We have a lot of resentment. For women, I believe that we carry a lot of this. It's almost in our DNA to carry this resentment long and hard. Not say a word, just hold it all in and just simmer on the inside. Because, I don't know, maybe that's how we were raised. But if you have the habitual nature of resentment, those are chains. Those are chains that bind you and that hold you back precisely from the life that you want to lead. And, you know, nobody wants to be around somebody who's bitter and angry all the time and just, you know, short staccato answers. Somebody who's holding back, somebody who's decided that, you know, you were this person and therefore you're never going to allow them in again. Once learned, always burned, whatever. I don't know. But here's the thing, that when you have that drag of the chain of resentment around you, and you decide that this is the lifestyle that you want to live, you have put up a wall as well to everybody around you that wants to care and love you. And have you ever been around somebody who there was just a vibe about them? That's the resentment. That's the resentment seeping through, who they believe that they are justified in having this resentment. And resentment does nothing except hold us back. Resentment builds a wall. Resentment destroys relationship. Resentment causes disease. And at any point, we can decide that we can leave resentment behind, simply because it's just a giving up of something that just doesn't serve. Does that mean that you weren't justified in feeling that way that you felt? No. You know, unfair bitterness and what have you, all the reasons and everything that it happened, doesn't mean that it justifies it being okay. It just doesn't justify it staying with you. Does that make sense? For me, this was one of the biggest things ever. And you want to feel light, you want to feel relieved, you want to feel free, give it up. You know, just say, hey, you know, this resentment, it just doesn't serve. It doesn't serve my family. It doesn't serve my relationships. It doesn't serve anyone. And if you need to, and this person is causing problems in your life and making you feel awful because of whatever, well, you have the opportunity, if you need to cut them off, to cut off that relationship, or to change the dynamic of the relationship, or to do what it is that you need to do in order to preserve yourself. And there's nothing at all selfish or awful about doing that. You're worth it. You're worth the energy of healing what's inside. You're worth the energy of preserving your sanity and the sanctity of your own soul. You're worth it. And with everything that's in me, you know, I know that when we let go, we have a new opportunity for something else. Holding on to the old, holding on to the decrepit, holding on to these tattered remains of an old axe that we had to grind does nothing except hurt us. And I want you to think about it this way. If you've ever seen an axe just left in the outside, and then we go back out to grind it again and it's all rusted, that's basically what our resentments look like. Just an old rusted relic of the past. And do we really want to get it out and grind it again and start knocking down those trees? No way. What we want to do is to step away from the things that have harmed us in the past, and that resentment, which underneath it all is a lot of hurt, is something we can give up. It's something that we can give up, give to God, and allow to just be left at the altar. You know, how he handles it, how he deals with it, let it go. Let him do the dirty work. What right now we've got you to build. We've got your heart that's so important. We have your purpose that's so critical. We have your life here that's in front of you. And you've got relationships, you've got a life to lead, you have a purpose to find, and you have a career to have. There's all kinds of things going on. There's all kinds of things. But if you've got resentment standing in the way, chained you up in a jail cell, locked away, and that's just your big thing, you're going to get lost in that and not focused on the proper things. And speaking of proper things, you know, one thing that I did forget to tell you about is that we have a webinar coming up next Monday for people who are ready to start a new career. It's my NutriCoach presentation. And you know, I've started this a couple of years ago. And if you're interested, I want you to come on down and check it out. It's savingdinner.com/school. It's right there. This might be the thing for you. I've got all kinds of stuff going on, as you know. And one of the things that I want to do is I want to equip you in every single way that I possibly can. I want to equip you to lose the stuff that you need to lose. I want to equip you to build the things you need to build. And you know, if it's a career, I'm going to help you do that. If it is a love for your family, I'm going to help you any way that I can to get rid of the stuff that's standing in the way of that love. Because I'm going to tell you right now, all of us are created for a reason, on purpose, by God, to find our purpose, which is to love and to help. That's it. And how that shows up and how that translates into your life, well, that's between you and God. But you can't have all these things standing in your way. You can't have a minefield of resentment there. You can't have these chains wrapped around you. It's going to hold you back. So when we make a decision to lose these things, we're making a choice for the better part of our lives. We're making a choice to love ourselves instead. We're making a choice to elevate our life to the next level. We're making a choice to say no to the things that are harming us. You have it at any moment in time. You have this decision to make. Are you going to choose yourself? Or are you going to choose resentment? Think about it this way. Resentment a lot of time is the foundation and the bedrock of bad words, ill feeling, terrible situations that are just more of the same. When we learn from our mistakes, when we learn from the experiences that we have, we get to leave them behind. That includes resentment. So that's what I'm inviting you to do, is leave it all behind. Leave it on the floor. Leave it on the dance floor. It's time to get up and boogie. That's what I have to say about that. So I don't know about you, but for me, you know, resentment is like walking around carrying a big bag of bricks, and they're bricks of manure even. And it stinks, it's heavy, and it is, you know, unnecessary. Have you noticed that you can take off that backpack and put it down? That's what you can do with that resentment. Leave it behind, sister. Leave it behind. And let's step into the life that you want. Let's focus on the stuff that you want. Your purpose will show itself. I promise. As you go looking for it, the reticular activating system will find it. It just happens. So check it out. Check it out. Resentment doesn't have to be your thing at all. What you can have is what you want. Just focus on the right things, and the whole world will expand. All right? Cheers. I need to go get my hot milk mix. I'm a day late and $1 short today. Peace be with you, and thanks so much for joining me.